Hello and welcome to WakeEd Wednesdays. In this week's episode, we're going to discuss how to find school board materials that are discussed and voted on at a school board meeting. So here we are on the front page of the Wake County Public Schools website, where we'll go to the About Us section here and click on School Board. And as you can see, there's general information here with the navigation on the left. Our particular area of interest for right now is in the Find Board Materials section right here. Click on this. This brings you to a new website. It's often referred to as Simbly, which is the name of the organization that manages the site. And the school system posts its public documents for its school board meetings here. There's a couple ways you can find information. If you're looking for documents that were presented or discussed at a recent meeting or at the upcoming school board meeting, you could just click on this right here, Meetings, Meeting Listings. And you can see this populates here. And so, for example, the meeting that's coming up here for the Board of Education work session and the Board of Education meeting. These are treated as two separate meetings organizationally and here on this website. And so the work session, which is usually the chance for the board members to discuss items of interest and give direction to staff, but these are not sessions where there are any votes taken. So you can go here and you can see that this particular meeting has a short agenda with only 3 things on here, but they will take up the bulk of the time to discuss where board members get the information they need to then give direction back to staff. So if we go back to the meetings listing again, you'll see the agenda for the Board of Education meeting is actually quite long in comparison for the same day. And one of the neat things about this is you can click on these little carrots here and close and open sections, so you don't have to scroll all the way down through here. So let's take a look. The order of events that happened during the meeting. You can see that there's 2 information items being presented: Board Advisory Council Chair's Report and discussion on the awareness of special education contracts. Anything with a little icon like this that's a paperclip, it tells you that there's an attachment. So let's take a look at one of those attachments here. We're going to come down to this section called Action Items. And in Action Items, you can see that there's Board Policy 5010, Parent Organizations First Reading. So this is something that the board will vote on. Anything in Action Items, the board will take a vote individually on these items. And so you can read these ahead of time. So let's click on that and see what you get. And this box here is the meeting agenda, so you can navigate through all the various items we saw on the previous page this way. And then over here is the subject, who the presenter is, a brief abstract, and then further down you can see these addenda here as attachments. And this brings you to, there should be a PDF that opens up here, but it doesn't seem to be working right now. So what you would see is a PDF. Let's see if the other one opens. Here we go. And so this is the policy in the manual as it exists now, and after the vote, if it's approved, there it is. This would be the new policy here. And so you can read through that and compare the two and be informed on what changes are happening to the policy manual. So if we want to go back, here's how we would navigate that. We could click on the meeting listing again, but if we click back to agenda, you'll see it brings us back to our agenda page here. Now let's say we weren't interested in anything in the action items, but we were curious about consent. So this consent item here, this is an interesting section because there's a lot of things that just need a vote for approval, and the school board takes one vote to approve all the items in consent, and that includes all of these with one vote, and this is something that's allowed by law. And so if we were to click on this little carrot here, you'll see a lot gets enclosed in that section. And a lot of it's very perfunctory things as far as, renewing contracts and what have you that have already been negotiated by school personnel. If an individual school board member has a concern about something in consent, they can ask for it to be moved to action where they can have some discussion on it individually as well. But let's say you wanted to find information from a previous meeting. So in here, you can see that they go back only so far. And maybe you wanted to find something very specific. So we can have a search function here. Let's say you were interested in the capital improvement plan. Okay, you click on that, and then click search. Now the capital improvement plan is anything that might be found in terms of school construction. And while this is searching right now, we'll talk about that a bit. So that's renovations, that's new school construction, major projects. And you can see this returns a number of documents. So you can see like the facility's 3-month forecast, the annual capital improvement plan update, the resolution requesting funds for capital improvement plan. So let's click on that. So as you can see, we come to this page here, and there's a number of attachments discussing the updated 7-year CIP, which is capital improvement plan, which looks out in the long range, the type of planning that the school system would need. So that pretty much covers where and how to find school board documents and how to use a search. And stay tuned for next week, where we will discuss how to navigate the school system's policy manual. Thank you and have a great week.